Hi, my name is Susanna Greason-Robbins. I'm the Executive Director of the San Francisco Film Commission, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. We offer a rebate program as an incentive. It's called the Scene in San Francisco Rebate Program, and we will rebate up to $600,000 per film or per television series or web series to productions that meet the required percentage of days to shoot here. So basically, if your production is under $3 million, you need to shoot 55% of your production days in San Francisco within the 49 square miles. If it's over 3 million, you have to shoot 65% of your days here. So if you're going for an episode rebate, you have to shoot 65% of your episode here or 55% of your episode here based on your budget. And basically, we rebate anything that you pay to any city agency. So the permit fees you pay our office, any street closure fees you pay for SFMTA or any charters with SFMTA, any permits you take out with Rec and Park, any SFPD costs you have, up to 4 police officers per day for a 12-hour day, which is a great savings for productions. So as long as you're shooting a film, documentary, or TV series or web series and they're feature length, they can't be shorts, then you do qualify for our rebate program. And what happens is at the end of production, you send in the final paperwork and I make sure that all the things you've submitted are rebatable costs, and then probably about a month later you will get a check from our accounting office rebating the fees that you have paid.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. We're one of the few cities that has a program like this in the States. We've had 28 productions use our rebate program since its inception in 2006, with really most of them since 2010. We've had films like Milk, Blue Jasmine, Diary of a Teenage Girl, Steve Jobs. We've also had TV series like Looking and Sense8 use the program. And we've had a number of small indie films use the rebate as well. You don't have to have a certain budget to apply. We've had indie films as small as $5,000 use the rebate program, and then they didn't have a lot of city fees, but it did rebate the cost of the permit fees for them. And then we've had films that are up to like 18 million use the rebate program. So there's a really wide range, and everyone should consider applying for it if they're going to be basing their film here in San Francisco or their TV show.
Well, that's just good information. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're producing a large or a small feature, that's real money you can put back into production. Now, while we're at it, I thought I'd mention this other film commission that I kind of got to know. I was in a conversation with Keith Field, who's a cameraman in Vienna, Illinois. And he mentioned that he was part of this group, which is basically the Southern Illinois Film Commission. And so he connected me with John Musgrave, who gave me this little blurb about what they've got to offer down there. He says, Southern Illinois offers a variety of small towns, historic sites, and rural landscapes with the rolling Shawnee Hills and Illinois Ozarks. We have both hardwood upland forests as well as cypress swamps. Plus all of the excellent 30% tax credits that have made Illinois one of the top 5 states for production. In addition, we offer a 15% bonus incentive for wages of individuals from high unemployment areas. Awesome. We have a growing crew base and film school at Southern Illinois University. Major features shot in the region include, okay, now this is going back a ways, Walt Disney's Davy Crockett and the River Pirates, MGM's How the West Was Won, In the Heat of the Night, U.S. Marshals, and most recently, Gone Girls. I mean, it was a section of Gone Girls. Significant indies shot here include Dig Two Graves with Ted Levine and Samantha Eisler, and the new film Rage Runners, just finishing post-production. And for that film, they used the Shawnee Hills in place of the Smokies and the Appalachian Trail. So, yeah, I know I don't have any experience with these folks, but I'm thinking, hey, Maybe you're shooting in Chicago, and you need that kind of a rural look, and it's in the same state. And then in between you've got farmland. So you've got all kinds of options there. I think that's awesome. I'm sure they need a little love. Everybody's going to come to San Francisco because there's all kinds of stuff here. You may not think about going to Southern Illinois, but maybe you should. I grew up in Illinois, and I never got further than Springfield, but just looking at the photos, man, it makes me want to go. All the waterfalls and cascades and just trees for days, the colors, in fall. Hey, fantastic. Now, this is kind of an odd combination, but I kind of think it makes sense. When you're looking at a film commission, you've got the money you want to spend, and then you're looking for sort of like a discount. Just a little more money out of that pool that you can put back into what you're working on. In a similar way, when you're starting out buying gear, you're looking for the cheapest price often. And so you may go offshore, you may go to the large resellers in New York, and I've done that. But as you sort of build up your gear and you get going and you're a little more established and you're buying expensive equipment, just consider the local value added reseller. You've heard me talk about JCX in the past. Just some examples, one manufacturer for their updates, their firmware updates, you need a PC. I don't have a PC. Yeah, I could find someone, that has it and work it out. But I purchased the units from JCX. I can just bring my fixtures there. They can be updated. It's not something they're required to do, but they're happy to do it because, it's you've committed to them in the sense that you're purchasing locally. Similarly, I have a HMI ballast and it's acting funky. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I could pull it out. I could start, spending the time on that. But hey, I'm busy making videos. No. And so I can bring that in. They can check it out. Often it's a small deal. Fantastic. If I have an issue with something that I bought and it's not quite right, or I want to send it back, now I have an advocate between me and the manufacturer, and it saves you time and aggravation. It's worth it. It may not be always the lowest price, although they do a good job of getting it down there. In your city, I don't know, if you're in LA, maybe it's Macomb. If you're in the East Bay here, there's DTC. I mean, they're a little different. They're an equipment rental house. But once a year, they put on like a mini gear exposition. It's not as large as Cinegear, obviously, but it's like bringing it locally. They don't have to do that, but it's a great service. It's a way to see everybody in town, and it's worth patronizing the local folks because you don't want them to go away. You don't want if all of your life was just purchased online. Yeah, that'd be a thing, I guess, and we may get there. But having some local storefront type stores, there's value there. And just to be clear, I'm not getting paid by anybody here. This is just my experience. It's worthwhile having a relationship with a reseller, a local reseller, just for the things that you may not think about when you're buying something new, but when you're maintaining something or fixing something or returning something, it's really nice to have someone in your corner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. I wanted to give a shout out to the guys who are working recently with Lenny Levine down in New Zealand. Thanks for watching the vlog.